My name is Riley Jameson, and last Christmas, I learned something I wouldn't wish on anyone. You can hit the floor in front of your family and realize you were already dead to them. 23 relatives. My plate shattered, knees on the hardwood, dress ripped, and they just watched. My mother fixed her hair. My stepfather, Victor Hale, smirked and said, "Get up, Riley, don't be dramatic." Do you know what it's like to swallow a scream while the people who raised you stare like you're a joke? If you were me, what would you do? Before I tell you how that one push cost Victor everything, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, stay or walk away forever. You ever look back at a decade of your life and realize you weren't living it, you were surviving it? That's exactly what it feels like when I rewind the last 10 years with Victor Hale in my house. Not my home. No, homes are warm. Homes have laughter. Victor turned ours into a stage where he always played the hero, and I was always cast as the liability. After my dad died, my mom remarried too fast, too blindly, and Victor slid in like he'd been waiting in the shadows. He had that polished charm wealthy men pretend comes naturally. The gold watch, the gentle tone, the way he touched mom's shoulder like she was a delicate object he owned. People said he was a blessing. I said nothing, because grief makes you doubt your own instincts. And for a long time, I kept doubting. Especially when Madison, his daughter, showed up like a walking Pinterest board. Perfect hair, perfect car, perfect excuses. She got everything. A brand new Jeep at 16, private tutors, yoga retreats to find herself, a semester in Italy because she wanted creative inspiration. Meanwhile, I got speeches, and not even good ones. Victor would stare at me over his overpriced wine and say things like, "Riley, you were born average. You need to work twice as hard just to be noticed." Or my personal favorite, "Don't expect life to reward you for existing. You're not Madison." Can you imagine your stepfather saying that while your mother stands 2 feet away, pretending she didn't hear it? If you've ever felt invisible inside your own family, hit the like button. I need to know I'm not alone in that. I tried to defend myself sometimes, but the moment I opened my mouth, Mom would whisper, "Not now, Riley. Don't ruin the evening." As if I was the one ruining anything. But the real wounds weren't the speeches, they were the silent thefts. The scholarship fund my dad left me suddenly underperformed due to market shifts. The small logistics company he built, my inheritance, had to be restructured for tax reasons. Let me translate Victor's language for you. He took it, bit by bit, piece by piece, and he wrapped every lie in a tone so calm even my mom believed it. For years, I watched him chip away at everything my father left behind, while Mom shrank into someone I barely recognized. She started repeating Victor's phrases, like she'd swallowed his personality whole. Victor knows best. Victor understands finances. Victor is looking out for us. No, Mom. Victor was looking out for Victor, and me, I was learning, quietly, carefully, painfully. Every spreadsheet he left open too long, every tax form printed twice, every late-night phone call he thought no one heard, I stored it all away. I didn't know why yet, but something in me whispered, "Riley, you'll need this someday." Back then, I didn't realize that someday would arrive at a Christmas dinner in front of 23 people who would show me exactly how alone I really was. But we'll get to that. Stay with me. And if this is already making your blood boil, drop a comment. I'm curious, what would you have done in my place? The thing about pain is, sometimes you don't feel the moment it happens. You feel the echo. And that Christmas Eve, that was the night the echo started. Loud, humiliating, unforgettable. Picture this. A long table covered in food no one actually liked. Forced laughter bouncing off walls, matching sweaters itchy enough to qualify as emotional abuse. And me, sitting in the same seat I'd occupied every Christmas since childhood. The seat my dad used to call Riley's anchor. Then the door flew open, and in came Madison, 2 hours late, sunglasses on like she was dodging paparazzi, holding enough shopping bags to restock a mall. Everyone gasped like royalty had arrived. And Victor. Oh, Victor lit up like a Christmas tree possessed. He stood, walked straight over to me and said, "Move." My daughter deserves a real place at this table." I thought he was joking. I actually laughed. But he wasn't joking, not even close. I pushed my chair back, slowly, trying to keep my dignity, but Victor didn't wait. He grabbed the back of my chair and yanked it like he was pulling weeds from his perfect garden. I fell. Hard. My knees hit the floor, my dress tore. Cranberry sauce splattered across my legs. But you know what hurt the most? Not the fall. Not Victor leaning over me and whispering, "Get up, Riley, you're embarrassing yourself. Again." It was the silence. 23 people, not a single person moved. My mother looked away. My uncle reached for his phone. Yeah, he recorded it. Someone actually laughed. If your chest tightened reading that, share this video. I need more people to understand how cruelty hides inside normal families. I stood on my own because no one else would help me. And as I did, something in me snapped. Quietly, like a bone under too much pressure. I saw something that changed everything. Victor's business phone. Unlocked. Face up. Right there on the kitchen counter. And something inside me whispered, "He thinks you're weak. Prove him wrong." When I left that dinner, I walked out with torn clothes, stained skin, and a heart bruised deeper than bone. But I also walked out with something Victor never expected. Photos of every message on that phone. Later that night, I opened my dad's old laptop, the one I'd been too scared to touch for years. And that laptop? It didn't just open old files. It opened war. The real will, the real financial records, the real history of what Victor had been doing behind our backs. And that quiet bone-snapping moment, it turned into fire, into purpose, into a rage so clear it felt like truth. That night, while the world slept, I crafted the first strike. Emails, evidence, timed messages. I didn't know it yet, but that was the moment Victor's empire began to crumble. Because sometimes all it takes is one push, and the wrong person getting back up. If you're still watching, you're about to hear the part people always ask me about. How did Victor go from pushing you off a chair to losing everything? Simple. He pushed the wrong woman. See, bullies are predictable. When you fight back, they don't retreat, they escalate. And Victor escalated like a man who truly believed he was untouchable. 2 days after Christmas, a lawyer showed up at my door with a stack of papers heavy enough to bruise my foot. Victor was suing me for $2 million. The claims? Corporate espionage, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Yes, the man who ripped a chair out from under me claimed I caused him emotional distress. Let that sink in. If your blood pressure just spiked, comment, "Are you kidding me?" Because that was my exact reaction. Victor didn't stop there. He hired a bargain bin PR expert who edited my uncle's video to make it look like I threw myself to the floor. He paid 2 disgraced ex-co-workers of mine to swear I'd bragged about wanting to destroy him. He convinced my mother, my own mother, that maybe I had crossed a line. Hearing her say, "Riley, did you plant evidence?" felt like being pushed a second time. But here's where everything flipped. Not because I was lucky, but because Victor was sloppy. His PR guy's mom recognized Victor, not from TV, from a book club 15 years ago. Turns out Victor had scammed her friend circle under a different name. Within days, 14 women came forward, all widows, all with identical stories. Victor wasn't just a bad stepfather. He was a predator with a pattern. And then came the avalanche. The co-workers he bribed confessed when the FBI showed up. His lawyer's paralegal turned over recordings of Victor admitting he forged evidence. Madison's filmmaker accidentally live-streamed her admitting she knew Victor was guilty but wanted the money anyway. But the final blow? My dad. From the grave. In a folder labeled, "For Riley," I found videos explaining everything. Turns out my dad suspected Victor long before he died. He'd gathered evidence, contacted the FBI, and created a plan that would protect me when Victor inevitably showed his true nature. My father didn't just love me. He prepared for the war he knew I'd face. The next morning, the FBI arrested Victor at 6 a.m. in pajamas, barefoot, begging. His lawsuit against me evaporated. His accounts were frozen. His crimes, fraud, laundering, tax evasion, exploitation, stacked up like dominoes. And the same silence that once crushed me now belonged to him, because nobody defended him. Not my mother, not Madison, not the family who once laughed at my pain. And me? I watched it all unfold with one truth echoing through me. He pushed me down, but I stood back up taller than he ever stood. If this story hit you the way it hit me living through it, please like, comment, and share. Someone out there needs to hear that getting pushed down isn't the end. Sometimes it's the beginning of the end for the person who pushed you. So here I am now, months later, sitting in the quiet my life used to be missing. Victor's gone, the truth is out, and for the first time in years, I can breathe without flinching. But sometimes, late at night, a tiny voice still asks me, was I in the wrong? Am I the problem for finally fighting back? And honestly, I don't think so, because standing up for yourself doesn't make you cruel. It makes you awake. It makes you whole again. If I learned anything from all this, it's that silence doesn't protect you. It just protects the person hurting you. And the moment you stop apologizing for existing, that's when your life finally starts. But I want to know what you think. If you were in my shoes, would you have done what I did? Or would you have walked away and let the past stay buried? Tell me in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious. And if this story made you feel something, anger, hope, even just recognition, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear they're not crazy for wanting justice. Thanks for listening. Really, it means more than you know.